Page 40, this is a theme from Jurassic Park, a famous melody. 4/4 time, we're in the key of C major, so there are no sharps or flats anywhere. They got things, we're moving around, things are getting a little more involved. So let's take it one hand at a time, make sure we got our fingerings down and the rhythms are working and all that. Starting with the right hand, second finger here. So we're starting here. Not going to stay here, but we're starting there. So it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and... It gets confusing sometimes with this curved line because it's used for like 4 or 5 different things. Who knows what it's used for? It's used for all kinds of things. The F's from the end of the first line, the quarter note F, to measure 4, the dotted half note, those are not tied because it kind of looks like when you look at measure 4, that little curved line, that's like a tie from before. No, it's part of that slur line because it's the same symbol, it's a curved line. So those F's are not tied. So watch out on those. So the last measure, the first line is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and then they want you to come down here. I really disagree with that fingering. This is a beginner's fingering they're giving you to go here. I like to feel my way around a piano, and I don't like using the same finger like that if I don't have to. Sometimes you have to. But here, I would prefer we do this. 4, and then 4. 4, this. So I connect all these notes together. 2, 3, and. Then I can use 5. But then you got to reach up here. So, what I'm going to suggest you do for measure 5, you're here, here, I'm going to say instead of third finger, use second, crunch up a little bit, and you can use 3. Now you can reach that 5, just reach up. And then now thumb here. So again, measure 5, you're here, and then here, 2, 3, and then reach up. Get this pattern anywhere else, I'm going to finger it the same way. That's what I'm recommending. And then measure 8, then you can lift up and come up. 2, 3, and 1. It's an F there, I measure 10. And then come up here, I say a 1, 3, and then a 1, 5. I want to connect it as best I can. So it's here. The thumb's doing all the bottom stuff. Here, and again 4 there at the end of the line. It's the same thing we had over on the second line here. And then, so I am fingering measures 13 and 14 the same way I fingered measures 5 and 6. See, it's the same notes, you're just an octave higher is all. So I'm fingering it the same way. Measure 16, you're here, and during the rest you come down. And the thumb's doing both of these. Measure 19 looks like there's an error in the music. It's just the way they published it. I wish they wouldn't do this, but they did it anyway, so okay. It looks like there's only 3 counts in that measure for each hand. The bottom staff has 4 counts, isn't it? Because it's got a dotted half note. But the right hand, all you get is a half note and a quarter note, and that's it. And you're thinking, what? Well, again, it's the way some publishers publish the music. They have sort of combined the 2 staves together. So you have to consider the bottom staff also. I would take a pencil and write in a quarter rest after the quarter note in measure 19. You're here. Rest. I'd put in a rest above the middle C in the left hand. In the upper staff, the middle C is in the bottom staff. So in the upper staff, right above it, I'd draw in a quarter rest, just to be clear, that the right hand rests for 1 beat. 1, 2, 3, rest. Now you get a B flat. Oh boy. And then just lift up and move. You may have to practice this move, going from here to here. That's a pretty big jump. You're lifting up anyway. You will when we get to the articulation. And when you lift up, you simply move. 2, 3. It's like an eighth rest in there or something. 1, 2, 3, and so forth. Last two measures. You have an F, a G, and a C. The last measure is just an E and a C. Left hand. You're starting out with primary chords. 1 chord, 2, then a 4 chord. No big deal. Measure 4, watch out, it's an A, and then a G, and then come down. I do a 5-2 here because I don't have to come down as far, because it's here. I just here. You can use 5 and 1 if you'd prefer. I do that. And then you can use a 3 and then a 1. Then you got to come back up. There's other fingerings. If you find another fingering you prefer, that's fine too. It's like on measure 6, instead of using 5-1 on these, because I got to come up here, then maybe for the second one I do a 5-2. This way my thumb is ready and I'm closer to where I want to be. Otherwise it's here. I find it easier to do that. It's kind of a personal thing. You decide on the fingering, or your teacher will decide for you, and you just stick with the fingering you're using, whatever it is. Last measure on page 40. Once you come up here, that's fine. It's not the best, but we can do it. 2, 3. And measure 16. 4, 3, 1. We're just repositioning our hands to get ready. In here. That's good. I like that. Measure 19, I do a 5-2. That frees my thumb up for that C. And then a 5-2 on measure 21, because I'm here to here. To me, that's much easier. The last measure, it's a C. Remember, 2 ledger lines below the bass clef is a C, way down here. And then you have a G, and then a treble clef and a C chord, or 1 chord here. Okay, put the hands together. Don't worry about hesitating. We're just trying to get it to work together. We're here, and then here, 2, 3. 2. 2, 3. Measure 16. Lift up in the right hand for the rest. Come down. Okay. Anyway, you put the hands together and then go back through and get rid of all the hesitations where you're having to hesitate. Steady beat all the way through. Then we can think about the articulation, which they don't really give you much. Connect it as best you can. Think of it as a connected. Now, measure 4 if you want. You can lift up. It's like taking a breath. Then at the end, the bottom page 41, you're here. Accent, a little extra, just a little louder. Both hands here. And the fermata, you'd hold that out till what feels right. If I do it with a metronome, I'll just double it and hold it for 4 counts instead of 2. So once you have a handle on the articulation, it's fairly connected, except when you can lift up occasionally for the phrasing. If you hear the phrasing, the musical sentences, you lift up between them. For the dynamics, that applies to the melody, which is in the right hand. Whatever you think moderately soft, sort of soft is, you keep these chords very soft. We want to hear the melody. And then at measure 8, you go up to moderately loud. Just go up a little bit. And you're sort of moderately loud there until measure 15, where you're going to crescendo up to loud. Don't get loud until measure 17. So take your time. And the loud really should be at the last beat on measure 16. That's loud. The left hand can come up to about moderately soft, but keep it. And you end it loud. Now as far as the speed goes, you probably heard this. It's just feel it. Not fast, not slow. So, and then the last measure, bottom page 42, says molto rit, or ritardando. Molto means a whole lot. Retardando means slow down. It means you slow down a whole lot. So however fast you were going, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, hold, and just stretch that last bit out big time. Now the pedal. We need pedal on this because we want the overtones. This is grand and glorious, and we need help connecting everything. I'd like to connect these notes in the left hand, these chords, and I need pedal for that. But I don't want it to get too mushy, and a lot of times these books, including the Faber books, they try and they want you to pedal but they want to keep it simple. And I have problems with that because that means you're hearing a lot of junk you shouldn't be hearing because they're trying to keep the pedaling simple. I don't want you to get used to the junk. I want you to be very critical on the sounds you're hearing. So it's overlapping pedal at the beginning. Push the notes down first and then the pedal. And I'm going to change the pedal after I play the notes. This way it ensures there's always sound. Now here, measure 5, they don't pedal the last beat, and that's okay. With the hands. And measure 8, they don't pedal that. I like that. Good. That's really nice. I like their pedaling indications here. That's different. And you pedal it basically the same way all the way through. All of it. Listen very carefully. If it's getting mushy, you got to change the pedal or leave the pedal out or something. Keep in mind on measure 19, the last quarter note there in the left hand is melody. That's the melody. All that has to sound like one hand played it all together. So you're soft and then loud and then soft. May take some practice there too. I like to play it with you very slowly to check all the notes and rhythms. Not going to do any dynamics. I will pedal it the way they're suggesting pretty much. So I'll give us 4 counts and let's just try it together. I can't slow down at the end. We have to keep the same speed throughout because the metronome won't slow down. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 1, 2, 3 and 1, 2, 3 and 2. Hold 2